Good morning folks, and welcome to another vlog somewhere in central France. Although I say somewhere, it's going to be the Loire Valley, but it's not another Loire Valley end to end. It's something slightly different. Now, after the last vlog that I did, the last debacle of me going, oh, I'm fed up, I finished filming, walked back to the car, and there was a sign, an information sign about a trail. And that trail was recounting some of the things that are written about by a historical character from France called Honoré de Balzac, or commonly known as Balzac. And I looked at it and I thought, do you know what, actually that can make quite a good vlog. I'm just going to see some of the places that are in it, and let's just see where I can go. So the first place is actually where I am now, and as you can see, it's a bit of a misty morning, or misty or foggy. It's kind of between the two, to be honest. And I've got the perfect thing for these type of conditions. Now, the other day when I was in Tours, when I started a vlogging tour there, just really, you couldn't see anything. Here, there is a good amount of visibility, and I've got the perfect subject for it. You can't see the sky really, doesn't matter because of the subject. What is it? It's a ruined castle. It's a ruined castle 25 minutes from where I live. Very, very nice it looks too. And it's perfect for these type of conditions. Absolutely perfect, it really is. I can't get in to get a better angle on it. There's probably a better angle just sort of over that way, but then I'd be on private property. Here I'm not on private property, I'm just on the edge of the road. So yeah, it would be nice to get that angle, maybe when they're open. They're closed at the moment, so but otherwise, yeah, I'll just show you the ruined castle, and then as I go through the day, we'll talk more and more about some of the places that I'm going to and why I'm going there as part of the trail. Some I've got an explanation for, and some I don't. So this is why you come somewhere like this on a misty morning. When you've got something like this, a ruined castle in the mist, it looks beautiful. And it's a little bit frosty as well, which also helps. So I'd like to get actually just here, where you've got this mound here of old trees and stuff, there's a bit of a bank, and I'd like to get on this angle of the castle. Sunrise is going to be that way. I'm probably not going to really see the sunrise. I might walk just a little bit further to my right and see if I can get another angle on this. Could I find a misty tree shot? No, probably, but I'm not going to bother trying to do misty trees this morning. But yeah, I've got my 2470 on. It's set at 50 mil. Tilt shift angle again. I want that tilt shift at 50 mil. But there you go. Beautiful, beautiful castle in the early morning frosty mist. What is it? It's called the Chateau de Montgoger, is the castle that you're looking at right now. I mentioned Balzac, and who is he? Well, Honoré de Balzac was born in 1799 in the city of Tours. Tours is that way, probably about 15 miles from here where I am, in a place called Saint-Maure. Saint-Maure is famous locally for that thing that's behind me. What is that? That is a Roman monument dating from the year 200. Another Roman monument, you saw one in the city of Lilly, the village of Lilly, sorry, a couple of vlogs ago. Lilly is basically that way where you saw the Roman aqueduct. This thing apparently is the highest ever funerary pile. I don't exactly know what it is in English, the translation of it, but it's just basically called Saint-Maure is the village, that is La Pile. And basically it's there to mark where an important person died. Who was it? It's not mentioned. All that I can get from the information is it was built around the year 200. So beautiful structure from, you think however like 1900 years old. You can see it from the road. You might be able to hear there's cars behind me. So when you're going on the main road between Tours, going to Lilly, going to Langeais, you'll come across Saint-Maure and you'll see this place that's on top of a hill. You get to a free car park. I'm not taking a picture. Why not? Look at the conditions. It's not the greatest. I live 5 minutes from here. I would rather get a better picture of this. But hopefully during the day, this heavy mist is going to lift. There's lots of other places that I've got to do, that I'm going to be taking you on the trail of Balzac and going through the trail that I saw the other day on the sign, which is in regards to a novel called Lilly dans la Vallée, the Lily in the Valley. I've come to a place that wasn't actually on my list of places to go to today, and I caught it just because I was looking around for something on a map, and I just looked at this and I thought, you know what, let's just go and check it out. Let's see what it looks like in this still very fog-laden landscape, and it's quite interesting actually. It doesn't look too bad. In a way, it kind of lends itself to the scene that's there in front of me, and I'm kind of thinking, do I keep the foreground that I've got, or do I just actually avoid the foreground and just include the subject? What is it? Well, you can hear probably on the microphone that there's some rushing water. There's an old water mill that is here on the river. I think this is the Cher, this river here. It's not the Indre, I think it's the Cher. And I'm just looking at it thinking, actually in the right light, this place could look exceptional. At the moment it doesn't look too bad, but it's, I don't know actually, I really don't know. What I'm going to do actually is put up my tripod. At the moment I'm very much down at, not ground level, my camera is probably 2 foot off the ground. And then I've put on a little stopper, which is just evening out the water. There's nothing really to sort of see in the water, so it kind of adds a little bit to it. But it's not a fine art photo, that's for sure. But yeah, it's just adding something, a little bit of something. But I think what I'm going to do is just try a photo without the whatever it is here that's growing at the side of the river. I don't know what the plant is, all these plants and weeds and whatever that are just growing up through the water, the riverbank here. And yeah, I'm just going to just take this shot without it, and you see the difference and why it is that I'm always kind of thinking, but I've never been here before, but I'm definitely going to come back here. I need better, absolutely better light. Could work certainly on a summer's morning, I would say, because the angle of the sun that way is northwest, so the angle of the sun would be coming into it this way. Summer's evening, and then maybe it would work on a winter's morning and winter's evening. I don't know, but it's not too far from where I live, so I'm definitely going to bank this place and come back to it. But I'll show you what it is that I'm doing. That's the scene that's behind the camera. Now, first of all, what I was doing when you saw me crouch down, you've got all these reeds and stuff, whatever it is, it's down here, and I thought, oh yeah, let's include that. Actually, I don't think it needs it now. Now I've stood up and looking at it and just sort of had a bit of a moment. You can see this old mill here. Now, where I'm actually stood, I'm pretty much stood in mud, although it's thick enough and there is enough cover with the plants that I can stand here and not be on solid ground, but it's certainly better than nothing. Got an 8-second exposure at f11, and that water there, I mean, you can see there's nothing really here, so it's a lot better just to smooth out the water just a little bit. It's not a fine art image, and certainly I'm actually just going to take a picture because and I'm doing a longish south timer just because of where I'm stood. I don't want any movement at all, but that mill keeps coming and going in the mist, and at the moment the mist seems to have cleared off a little bit. It's looking really nice. You can see the possibilities with this place, and it looks really nice in the back of the camera. It looks really, really nice. I'm just going to make sure that actually there's no fogging on the front of the camera, which is nice. So it looks really ethereal, this old mill here. Now I think you can actually go across the other side of the river and get a different view of it, but I kind of feel that the angle that I'm at, it's probably the best. Now, to actually get here is not the easiest place to get to, and I wouldn't want to lead people down here just because it's pretty precarious getting down here. But yeah, really nice. Never been here before. I'm thinking, yeah, starting to feel a lot better than I did the other day. Let's move somewhere else on the trail of Balzac. I've come to the next place following in the footsteps of Balzac, a place called Chateau de la Carte. Now, I've read the information board over there, hoping to gain some reason as to why this place is on the trail, because I looked on the internet trying to find what it was, why it was he was here, or if he wrote about it. There didn't seem to be any information. I don't know why. There's nothing on the information board. There's hardly anything on the internet with regards to this place and Balzac, but it's on the Balzac trail. It's called Chateau de la Carte. It's in a place called Ballon-Mirey, which is southwest of Tours, not very far outside of the city itself. You could park probably about 500 metres up the road or less, and then just come here to actually get the shot that I'm getting. Now I can't go any closer than I am. There's a fence that's going around. I don't want to really hop over the fence. I don't want to get into any grief. There's enough problems going on at the moment in the world, and I certainly don't want to attract the attention of the police knowing how they can be over here. So I've got a shot looking basically 45 degrees towards the old castle gate. The sun is coming across, which is really nice. So hopefully you can see there's a bit of sunlight coming on me now, which is really nice because it's illuminating the trees. What I've done is I've actually put the white balance to shade because that's actually what it's looking at the moment. Although it's kind of in shade, we've got the light coming through, but it actually mirrors pretty much what is there. That's pretty much what I'm seeing. So yeah, and I've actually got something coming on the way in the post. I've been told next week. Spider X that I've been told is being sent to me that is very good for white balance, so you'll be seeing something in regards to that soon. In any case though, let's just show you the castle that's behind me, and I'm also going to put my polarizer on because the blue sky is starting to come up there in the heavens. There's the Chateau de la Carte on the back of my camera. You can see probably there's the blue sky that's coming in now, which is really nice because it means that the mist is burning off. There'll probably be some really nice cloud structure later on as I'm making my way across the trail. It's going to be really cool. Now, I've got it set, as I said, on I think it's shade or cloudy, the white balance. It just warms it up a little bit. So you've got all this nice autumn colour down here, and it really does need warming up. Otherwise, when I've got it on the auto white balance, it's looking kind of cold, and that it's not cold. It looks really nice. It looks really warm. It looks really inviting, and I want to be able to keep that. So if I press Q on here, if I basically go back to my if I, for example, put it on daylight, it's kind of actually like if I take a picture like that actually in daylight balance, that's actually kind of not far off how it is actually looking. One of the things I'm noticing on the back of the camera actually is that the castle gate there is actually looking a lot warmer on the JPEG than it is actually there. So you could actually double process that when you process one part of the image for one white balance and another part of the image for a different white balance. But it's looking greyish, but on the back of the camera it's looking kind of quite warm. But that's actually making it look a little bit more inviting, so that's not a bad thing. I've got my 24mm tilt shift on, I've got the 1.4 extender just to get in there. I'm using the trees there to frame. Now, just off the edge, you can actually walk up a little bit to the gate, but it's just looking straight on. I might think about coming back another time and going the other side of where I am to actually get a shot looking the other way. But it's looking quite nice at the moment. There's enough trees up there that are with leaves on that are actually helping to frame the scene. And you can't really see anything modern in it either, which is always a bonus with these things when you're doing historical stuff. Let's go further south on the trail of Balzac. I've come back to where I ended my last vlog, so maybe it looks a little bit familiar. This is a place called, and I've finally got my head around where this place is called. It's called the Pont du Rouen, and it's where I actually came up with the idea to follow the trail of Balzac just over there, where you park to get a view of this watermill that's on the River Indre here. There's an information board showing you the different points that are mentioned by Balzac in novels such as The Lily of the Valley. So this place was apparently noted for its beautiful river, the watermill that's here, its beautiful church, the gardens in the houses, all sorts of things. So I just thought, well, let's come here, get it in slightly different light than I had it the other day. It would be nice actually in the evening, I think. Certainly with the angle of the sun at the moment is there, right behind the camera. And when it's going down winter sunset, that's just going to be beaming a light onto the facade there. If you had a really nice sky, at the moment it's blue skies, very much picture postcard looking sky, that's fine. I've got a shot, I'll take a video clip of it as well, just to get that in the bag as well. And you know, it looks just really nice. Really, really nice scene here, a beautiful day. What have I got on the front of my camera? There's kind of no point really showing you what it is I'm doing. It's very simple shot. There's a 24-70 on. I'm looking at it. It's probably about 50mm polarizer. It's a half-second exposure just to slightly smooth the water, but not too much. And it's polarizing up really nicely because the mill is there, the sun is there, 90 degrees for your polarizer. It's beautiful. And what I did actually do though, just to give you a little bit of an insight in the composition, is just come so I can see a bit more clearly the northern wall of the watermill that's there, just so there's some dimension to the image instead of it being flat and straight onto the watermill itself. So I like having dimension in my images. But yeah, it's a beautiful place. No wonder Honoré de Balzac mentioned this in his novels. In the Pont de Rouen on the information board, it mentions that Balzac, when he is writing about the Lily in the Valley, his novel The Lily in the Valley, that he mentions several mills that are on the River Indre here. There are actually quite a lot of mills. There's one that I know of that's actually not even in the novel, or it's not mentioned as part of that novel's trail, but it's still actually really nice to go to. And I went there earlier on, but it was too early in the day to get it. You really need to be there in the afternoon. But it is a really beautiful mill. Which one is it called? I'm not going to tell you that. You go and do some research. I've gone to another mill that's actually way off of the main road. You wouldn't find it unless you know it's here, or unless you start looking at Google Maps trying to find these places. But there's a mill that is just that way, an old water mill. What I've done is I put my 6-stop on just to make it slightly more dreamier, just because it's like 1:30 in the afternoon, so it just gives it a little bit of a look. It's not fine art though, so yes, I know I keep on about that, but it just, for me, smooths out the water. There's a nice reflection though at the moment with what is actually there. So I'll show you the mill that is here this time, and then you can see what it is that I've done with it. That's the next mill on my agenda. I've got one more to do, and then I start heading down into the countryside further south in the department of Indre-et-Loire before ending at Chinon this evening. Hopefully there'll be some nice light. There should be. What I'm hoping for as well is the golden colours in the trees that you may have seen a couple of vlogs ago. So you can see I've got this here. Now if I went to live view, if I flick that back on, then there's a nice reflection. I'm not going to do a reflection in the middle. You're not going to do that. There's no point doing that. I've got these crosshairs again. They're always on my camera there. You can see that tree line following the crosshair, this one going down again. And basically one of the frustrating things in here is, well, it'd be nice to have some cloud, but there you go, what can you do? Come back another day. Is there seems to be something or other, something colourful just where this wall is. What is it? I don't know, not without zooming in. It looks as though it's maybe some kind of pontoons or maybe some kind of child's boat, I'm not sure. But as you can see, beautiful, beautiful old watermill that's there. It looks as though partly been restored. Somebody's definitely living there because there's a satellite dish on there. Going to get another video clip of this place. Beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. It's what happens, folks, when you do your research before going out, not just going out and taking a chance and thinking what's here, what's there. Go into Google, go into places like the Ordnance Survey, the IGN if you're in France, stuff like that. Have a good look around, see what's there. Can you get there? If you can, let's go, and you get stuff like that. Now I know it's here, I'm definitely going to come back and get this in better light because it deserves it. It's nice at the moment, but it's very picture postcard. Anyway, let's move on to the next place. I've come to the next point walking in the footsteps of Balzac, and I'm near the village of Sachet, and near the village of Sachet is a place called Moulin Rouge. Not the famous Moulin Rouge, which is obviously in Paris, but this Moulin Rouge here sits on the River Indre. Now where I am now, I've got no idea if this is private property or whether it's okay to be here. I guess if somebody sees this vlog in the future, then they'll probably tell me if I was or wasn't, but there were certainly no signs when I came through the woodlands to say that I was entering private property. A lot of the times when you're going around France and you're coming up to woodland, you will see signs that say private property. earlier on I was over that side, and over that side is probably where I can get a better shot of the mill that's behind the camera, the red mill. But that's definitely private property, and you know that because there's like fishing huts, there's boats, the grass is manicured and stuff like that, so it's absolutely private property over that side. Although there were no signs, it's pretty evident that it is. But here I've no idea if it is or not. There seems to be some kind of trail through the woodland, although I've only just found that trail because the way I came, it was basically just walking through dense woodland and cutting myself, getting stung by stinging nettles that are up to my chest. So not easy, no marked path at all to get to this particular point. I'll show you the conundrum behind the camera. It's a beautiful scene, very quiet, very serene, nobody here. Is it somebody's house? Could be a summer house, possibly, and it's all boarded up. Well, not boarded up, but it's all closed up. Curtains are closed, shutters are closed. Don't know. Certainly too late for autumn colour. A lot of the leaves have fallen off into the water and then gone away, but it's really nice. But I'll just show you what it is where I am. That is the Moulin Rouge, the red mill that is mentioned by Balzac in, I believe, it's the Lily of the Valley. Near the village of Sachet. As I said, am I allowed to be here? I have no idea. There's nothing that says private property, propriété privée. It could be, it could not be. I can notice that on the window that's just there, there's actually a satellite dish on this bottom window here. It looks like a satellite dish, very, very tiny. But I mean, it doesn't look as if it's lived in at all. Is it? Possibly, who knows? But the shutters are all closed up, the curtains are closed. But you can see it's a beautiful scene, but the problem is actually getting an angle on it. You can see here that there is somebody's fishing hut, and you can see other fishing places over the other side, so that's definitely out. Here, so I'm not really sure if I should be here or not, but what I'm going to do is I've taken a shot, it's not the best shot, just because of all this overhanging tree that's there, and I'm going to just get my way out of here, go into Sachet. I can't photograph the castle, but I can photograph the exterior of the museum. So let's get down there, let's show you that, and then let's move on somewhere else, because I want to get to Chinon at the end of the day. I've come out of the dense woodland and I've come up into the village of Sachet. Behind me is the Chateau de Sachet, otherwise known as the Museum of Balzac, the Musée de Balzac. I thought actually it was actually in front of me where the church is, but you've got this beautiful old church. And I noticed this scene the other day actually. I came through here the other day on my way back home and I saw this amazing scene. I just thought it's really nice, really typical French village scene, where you've got an old street, you've got the church. And I thought you get this in a nice side light coming across there, and it will look really nice, and it does. Maybe it would be better in the summer, just because of, although there's no trees here that are losing their leaves or anything, it would maybe need the sun a little bit higher. Half of it's in shadow, half of it isn't. It needs some nice long shadows, but maybe not as much as there is. I'm actually going to walk down the road just a little bit to the corner and see if I can get something from there, but I think a lot of it's going to be in shadow. But yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful scene here. This is what I really wanted. The castle I do another time, that's fine. This is like half an hour from where I live. From here I've got a castle to do, a ruined castle, and I found another ruined castle, and then I think maybe from there I might go to Chinon, because I'm starting to lose time. It's a shame, there's two other places that I had in mind before I got to the ruined castle and then to Chinon. But anyway, let's just show you what's behind the camera, and then you'll see why I've come here. That's what I was looking at. This is what I saw the other day when I drove down this road, and I saw this beautiful scene here. The old house, the church, everything just going in towards the church. It's at 50 mil, ideally needs a 50 mil tilt shift, but that's not to be just yet. But so I've got a little bit of converging verticals. It doesn't show too much though. That's absolutely fine. Polarizer on the front, just because the nice side light coming in. The sun is actually that angle off the edge of the camera, so it's beaming a light onto there. That's why I've come here at this time of day. So it looks really nice. Gonna have to do a blend, because when I look at the back of the camera, you've got this exposure and then this exposure here. in order to get everything in. This is part of the problem you find in this area of France. You get a lot of white stone, which when the sun gets on it, it can be really huge reflector, and so you have to blend. That's the only way around it. But yeah, there you go, beautiful, beautiful scene. I can't get a ground level shot of the Chateau of Montgoger, the Chateau de Montgoger, which is just up there behind me. Ruined chateau. Apparently a huge fire destroyed 3/4 of it in the late 19th century before German occupation troops got hold of it. What connection is there to Balzac? Do you know what? With a quick research that I was able to do, the information board that's over there, there is no mention of Balzac. What is the connection? I don't know. It's on the information board. That's why I came here. Never knew the place was here though. It's beautiful. Certainly if you can get the right angle on it at the right time of year. Now is not the right time of year. The sun's going behind it. I've been able to get a quick drone shot of the castle just to show you what is here. I didn't take any footage just because it does not look good. You know, it's an okay drone photo, but video, I'd prefer to do it when it's decent light, proper time of year. Otherwise, to me, it's just no good. From here, I'm going to quickly have to go through Saint-Epin. I might redo the shot that I did the other day, and then to Chinon, because at Chinon, hopefully all the leaves are still on the trees in front of the Vienne, and then the castle was there behind. That's the last place that I'm going. Let's get to Chinon right now. If you've been following me for a while now, this place needs no introduction at all. This is Chinon, and behind me is the Chateau de Chinon, the castle of Chinon, famous for the Knights Templar, but for this particular vlog, it's famous for Balzac's Les Deux Amis, the two friends. So it's in there, that's why I've come here. Not everything I've been able to find today in relation to Balzac and why it is that it's on that particular trail that I found a few days ago. In any case, I hope you've enjoyed being in the footsteps of Balzac, the famous writer from these parts, born in the city of Tours, where I first arrived 10 years ago, and then spent most of his life in Paris, but would return here, seeking out inspiration to write, and hopefully you've seen why this place inspired him to write as he did. So in any case, I hope you've enjoyed the vlog. See you again on the next time, sometime, somewhere soon in central France. Who knows where? No idea what it is that I'm going to do next week for the next couple of vlogs, but I guess I'll find something, as I always do. As I mentioned earlier though, I do have something coming my way, which is the Spider X Pro, I think it is. So they've been kind enough to send that to me for review to see how we can improve our images through white balance. So very important to me to be able to get my images looking really good. We'll see what it can do, see how it holds up in the rigours of landscape and travel photography. If you haven't done, subscribe down there, click the bell up there to get notifications of when I upload new stuff, which is twice a week at the moment. Again, hope you've enjoyed it. Stay safe wherever you are. We are going to get out of this very, very soon. There's all the good news coming our way. Until the next time, see you soon, sometime, somewhere in central France.